In today's episode of the Pathmonk Presents podcast, I have an interesting guest here with me today. I'm with Patrick Rauland, who is hailing over as the brand manager at Paid Memberships Pro. And he's responsible for customer success, content creation, and branch management. And today we want to be learning what Brand Memberships Pro is all about. You can check it out on paidmembershipspro.com. And it's basically the most complete, the website says, the most complete WordPress membership plugin. And today we want to dive deep into that and learn why that is the case and how the team is thinking about growth. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Awesome. Yeah, give us a 360 overview. What is Paid Memberships Pro all about?
So Paid Memberships Pro is a plugin for WordPress. I'm sure many people are familiar with that. We're a plugin for WordPress that lets you turn your WordPress site into a membership site. So we love helping people build membership sites. A lot of people are individual creators making their own membership site. And then we also have a lot of people who are developers who just like build membership sites for, 10, 20 clients. So we love doing that. We love being, doing things the WordPress way and being open source and helping people have a financial future, letting them run their own business.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about which types of businesses, benefit the most. It can be obviously, different groups and types of business will benefit, but maybe give us an insight. Like what are the sort of the typical use cases?
So there's a bunch of different use cases, but some of our most popular ones are courses. People love selling online courses via a membership. I think it's a little bit better than selling them one time rather than $30 one time. It's $10 a month to access to all my courses forever. That's pretty effective. We also have people who like run podcasts and they have some sort of special interest. So those people will have some sort of premium content on their site, bonus episodes or the like, and they'll put that behind a membership paywall. And then the last one is like associations. So that's the one we talk about all the time is like the Texas Beekeepers Association. And we have a case study of that on our site. But people who run usually nonprofits talking about a very specific thing, we usually have some sort of annual membership. So if you want to take your old school association, move it online and have people pay you annually that way, that's the last one. So courses, special interest, and associations.
Very cool. And, how do these folks hear about Paid Memberships Pro? Obviously, there's probably a lot of discovery within the WordPress ecosystem, but maybe tell us a little bit more. How does that work? Like from a marketer's perspective, how do you rank well and on these kind of things? But also, is there other channels that you are excited about?
Yep. So our two biggest channels, the one that everyone's familiar with in marketing world is SEO. So we read a ton of content. So we write, how do you build an association website? And that we talk about all of the things that we do and all the things that you can get from other WordPress plugins. I think most people get that. The one that is a little bit more unique in our circumstance is we're a WordPress plugin. So if you run a WordPress site, you've searched for plugins on your site, and if you type in memberships, you will probably see Paid Memberships Pro come up probably in the number 2 slot, and you can install it that way. And of course, we have links in the plugin to our own site, but also on the WordPress plugin repository on the website. So wordpress.org/plugins. I don't remember the exact URL, but you can also find us that way. And actually a good number of people find us there. So it's cool that some people find our product and use our product before they come to our website. So that means you're doing something right when people use the product and then come to the website, which is fantastic. We love that.
Anything that and if there's nothing that stands out, that's fine as well. Anything that you've picked up in your time with Paid Memberships Pro in terms of optimizing for being found really quick within the WordPress ecosystem? Anything that maybe people overlook that they should be doing?
Yeah, a couple ones. So if you do have a plugin and you're listed, you want to have the right tags. WordPress cares about you can have any number of tags you want, but WordPress cares about the first 5. So it would be silly for us not to have membership in the top 5. So we have membership and subscriptions and all sorts of other tags in the top 5. Your title matters a lot. So you usually see, it'll be something like Paid Memberships Pro dash the most complete membership solution for WordPress, something like that. And then of course your description and of course your ratings. So we encourage our users to, ratings matter on any marketplace or platform or repository you're on, but we encourage our users to leave us ratings because it helps us be more discovered on the WordPress plugin repository.
Very good. Okay, cool. Let's switch gears a little bit. Well, you were talking about the website there a little bit. So I have a question on the page in itself. Like, how do you think about the website? It obviously through SEO, it plays a role. What do you think is sort of like a major strength of the page at the moment versus where do you see room for improvement, or what do you guys already know you want to sort of work on and improve?
So I think so. We've been around. Paid Memberships Pro has been around for 10 years, which is a long time in any business, but also an even longer time in technology. For people who don't know, WordPress is a teenager. Most technologies don't get to teenager years. So we've been around for 10 years. We have posts that have been ranking for the last like 8, 9, or 10 years. Like some of the posts on our website have just done phenomenally well. And, someone whipped it out in 2 hours on a Friday 10 years ago, and it's still delivering people to our site, which is incredible.
Really?
I think what we need to do though, so I think we have lots of great content, but we've never had like a really good like cornerstone strategy where like, great, so we rank well for this topic, but now let's have this topic and all sorts of subtopics that rank off of it. And we've never had that concrete SEO strategy, which is something we're going to be working on, but it takes a while to plan. You have to look into keywords, you have to look into your competitors. There's a lot of stuff, but I guess what is cool is we have lots of stuff to work with. And there's something nice about, for anyone who's just starting a business, sometimes it's nice just to create a ton of content. And at the end of the year, you've written 100 articles. Then you just look at which are the ones that are ranking best, and you almost work backwards from that and go, oh, people really trust us on these 2 topic areas. Let's double down on these 2 topic areas. So that's kind of what's working and what we need to do better at.
Very cool. Now, when they come to the website, like how do you go about figuring out why people do or do not convert? Like anything that you've picked up over the years, any tools, any methods, any ways of looking at that?
Well, so one of the things we do is we encourage people to sign up for a free membership. So when you have a free membership, you get a little bit more, we get access to more content that you would have otherwise. So we like to get that. When we do that, we do ask people, what type of site are you building? Are you building a courses website? Are you building the premium content or an association? When we find that, we have an onboarding flow and we send you relevant content. So if you needed, one of the other things we ask is, are you moving from another membership site? Which is usually one of the things that's hardest to do. Once you have like a paid subscription in Stripe, or in any payment gateway, it's just really hard to move a subscription from one software to another without losing the subscription and forcing people to resubscribe. So we have special content for that. When you click a certain link in our onboarding series, we then divert you off the main onboarding series into a little migration one. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to get a little information from our users after they've signed up, and then serve them relevant content. But it is hard. There's a lot of people that click other. There's a lot of people that don't fall neatly into one category or another. There's a lot more work to be done here. I would love, for a previous project, I did a lot of stuff with Hotjar and A/B testing. That is something we're going to be getting into now that I've got my feet wet. I've been there for something like 7, 8 months. Now it's time to start optimizing individual pages and seeing what people do.
Very, very good. Cool. Let's switch gears a little bit. I'm curious to learn more about your journey and how you sort of, as a brand manager, have paved your way. You've been in product marketing roles, and now you're a brand manager. Like, how do you define maybe the role of a brand manager?
Good question. So yes, I have experience with product. I did some other product stuff at a company called WooCommerce years ago, and then I was a product marketer at a WordPress hosting company. And now I moved on to brand manager. So brand manager, to be honest, this is a small company, and they gave me a small title to start. And then what's cool is it's probably gonna change to some other title in the future. But I basically oversee all of marketing right now. So that's just a team of 3 people, and as well as my boss who chimes in sometimes. But it's basically a team of 3 people. We do a lot of content, we do a lot of social, and then I do a lot of SEO and some ads. How did I get here, and what do I do? I think the simplest way to put this is I think I've been eternally constantly curious. So I love digging into the data. I love trying to understand why. I put very low expectations on something working, and I just keep trying new things. So I will try, let's say I will have 4 big projects a year, 3 of which will have not very good results, 1 of which will explode and do incredibly well. We had this last year for content. A lot of our posts we tried new things and they got a few hundred visits. Yay. And then we knew PayPal was increasing their fees, and we're like, I bet people are going to search for PayPal increased fees. And that one has several thousand hits, so we tried newsjacking, which is the term for, I bet people are going to be looking for this current topic. And that worked way better than we thought it would. So we'll probably do one of those a year now, of some sort of current trend that even if a lot of people aren't looking for paid memberships pro, it'll build that awareness. So I'm the type of person I would rather throw 10 things at a wall, have one of them work, and have the what. And this has worked. I used to build WordPress plugins as a developer. I used to make a lot of these little mini plugins, and if I make 10 of them, one of them is going to succeed and generate a ton of revenue. One of them is going to break even, and the other 8 are going to make no money and not do anything. So that's the way I look at my work: is you have to experiment as fast as possible, as rapidly as possible, take your best guesses, execute really quickly and efficiently, and then measure the results and see what works and double down on what is working.
Very cool. I like it. You're on a high energy level, so I have some rapid fire questions for you right now to wrap up the interview. You ready for those?
Ready.
Very good. What's the last book you read?
Well, I read a book. Wow, this is going to go a little personal, but I'm okay with that. It's called Expecting Better. So I'm expecting my first kid. And so read a pregnancy book that was written by an economist. So it was kind of data science, nerdy, plus pregnancy information.
Nice. Congrats, of course. What's one single thing that your company is focused on the most at the moment?
I think right now we are focusing a lot on growing our team. I think we hired a couple people last year to fill leadership positions, myself and other people and someone else. And the company's grown really well because of it. Like, I think sometimes you go, is this investment worth it? Yes or no? And I think hiring myself and this other person has made the company grow. And so now we're doubling down. We're hiring a lot more people, which is exciting.
Awesome. Very cool. What would you say, right? If there would be no boundaries in technology, what's the one thing you would fix for your role today?
I would love some sort of unified reporting across all platforms. I think most marketers are desperate to get really useful analytics and reports and metrics. And it's really hard between payment gateways and your membership software and your sales software and your A/B testing and your Google ads. It's just all over the board. And if there was a magical way to combine all that data, it would save marketers hundreds of hours.
What's the last thing that kept you awake at night about the company?
I think so. I'm a new manager. I have 2 people working under me, and this is gonna sound obvious and for a lot of people, but humans are different, and I need to learn how to manage different humans. Like, one person is very excited by X, and the other person's very excited by Y, and so I have to now figure out how to work with both people and provide X and Y, if that makes sense. It's challenging.
Very cool. And if we would do a little bit of time travel, right? So if we would go back, maybe we go, let's say, all the way back. You mentioned there was, different roles, and specifically in the WordPress place. And let's go back to the days of the University of Wisconsin, Green Bay. Right? So now you're heading out of formal education. What's the one advice you would give yourself for your journey up until today?
Oof, all the way back to university. I guess I would say that I think you just have to keep moving forward. There have been various setbacks in life, lots of setbacks. It seems like that's what life is about. I think that's one of the things I've learned, is that life is not about what you do, but it's about how you respond to what happens to you. So it's just about, figure out what your goal is, and you just have to keep trying to move in that direction, even when life nudges you left, right, and backwards all the time.
Very cool. Patrick, I really appreciate you taking the time with Pathmonk Presents today. I want to give you the very last word. If somebody would be, forgetting what Paid Memberships Pro is all about, what should they remember?
We love helping people build membership websites or turning your WordPress site into a membership site. So if either of those sound great to you, you should come check us out because we do cool stuff.
Thanks a lot for being a guest on Pathmonk Presents.
Thank you.